On a scouting mission, Chris Bjornsson and Zainal encountered more humans, as well as representatives of the other 4 races also dumped on Botany. In order to save the Desky from dying of malnutrition, since Botany did not produce a basic dietary requirement, Zainal forced a confrontation with the Catteni captain of a second transport, which was dumping a new load of people. He also sent back the message that this planet was obviously an agricultural subsidiary of a heretofore undiscovered, sophisticated race. Then he was summoned to a covert meeting with another Emassi high-ranking official, with an offer to be returned to his rank and duties, an offer he summarily rejected. By then, there were sufficient technicians and engineers available to redesign some of the available equipment into useful appliances and machines, supplying communications and useful equipment to assist the settlers. Using the aerial maps reluctantly supplied him, Zainal led a group to what might be a command center on the planet. However, although it had obviously not been occupied for a very long time, a garage held several aerial devices and smaller missiles of a homing device design. One of these was deliberately launched by Dick Aarons. The launch is observed by interested agencies. And so begins the second part of the Catteni story. Prologue. Part 1. The satellite logged the departure of a missile from the surface of the planet under observation. It analyzed the components and attempted to correlate the information within its memory banks, but found no match. The unusual speed and approximate direction of the device was also noted as it headed galactically north and east towards the furthest edge of the Milky Way. Just as the missile reached the heliopause of the system, it disappeared. A scan produced no debris. No ion or any other trace of what had powered its drive could be detected. It had vanished, a fact that was unacceptable to the monitoring program and caused a functional error which required internal investigation and repair. Although its earlier tracking was recorded, the satellite did not, due to the anomalies, immediately forward the data to its server. Consequently, without a requisite emergency code, the information went through several processings before the anomalies were noticed. It was then immediately reported to the proper authority. A team was dispatched to correct the malfunction, but none was ever found, even after a complete overhaul and maintenance check of the satellite. The data was therefore suspect as a malfunction in itself, rather than the recording of an event. The planet was, after all, a penal colony, the exiles equipped with the barest essentials for survival, and no technological equipment whatever. It was only by chance that the report was ever seen by persons with the essential information to realize the significance of the sighting and the mysterious disappearance of the homing device. Part 2.
You say that he refused to answer the summons?
The speaker scowled at the Emassi captain. As they were also father and son, the son was accustomed to his sire's scowls. He almost enjoyed the reaction, knowing that Zainal's refusal to return and accept the duty imposed on his rank and family would blacken his brother's previously spotless reputation in their father's estimation.
He was chosen,
Parazak continued, bashing one huge fist onto the pervoloi worktop.
He cannot refuse the summons. He did,
Lenvek said with an imperturbable shrug of one shoulder.
I'm dropped. I stay. You know the convention.
Parazak crashed both fists onto the worktop, bouncing everything on it and scattering the files from the desk rack.
An EOC matter has precedence over any Catteni convention. You know that.
The scowl deepened, pulling down the heavy mouth and jaw, darkening the gray-toned skin.
He has known of this duty since he was presented to the EOC. Dropped or not, he is to return to accept that duty.
The fists banged emphatically again. Then Parazak's eyes narrowed to slits through which his yellow pupils flashed with anger.
How did he come to be dropped on that felon planet?
Lenvek shrugged. He knew that his father was well aware of the whole circumstance, but he repeated the report.
Zainal engaged in a fatal brawl with a minor transport officer. The crew sought vengeance, and Zainal escaped in a flitter, which was hit and crashed.